Steve Perry and Journey. What's going on with them these days? We'll find out. Coming right up. Hey, I like this album. Hello, Journey fans and Steve Perry fans. This is Gary Stuckey once again with another episode. Hey, was thinking about Steve Perry. His new album is coming out soon, and we're all getting excited about it. And I was thinking about Steve. He's not obligated to do anything. He doesn't have to make an album. He doesn't owe anybody anything, or Journey, or anybody. He could retire and, sit at home and watch TV every day or whatever he wants to do, go fishing. But, as time goes by, you miss things. And I believe that's what Steve is doing right now. And, he's missing the fans, singing to the fans, and that, reaction from the fans to hear his voice and to hear some new songs. And he's gearing up for that. I'm sure he's been training his voice. I'm not sure what he's going to do as far as touring. Is it going to be a small venue? I don't know. But I do know this. That album, it's hot. It's a hot potato about to drop. And I'm telling you, we keep waiting and we keep trying to predict what's going to happen. And is it going to happen soon? Well, I got a feeling it's about to drop. But Steve, Steve was hurt in his life. He's been hurt. He was under no obligation to do another album for Trial by Fire, as some have been saying. That's something he wanted to do, to get back with his friends. He missed Journey. And then after they let him down, betrayed him, it hurt him. And only time will tell to see if things have been made up. I know he's forgiven those guys, but there's a lot to be said about forgiveness. I mean, you can forgive somebody without ever interacting with them again. So there's forgiveness, and then there's, what are we going to do now? And I think, though, as for me, I put myself in his shoes and Steve Perry's shoes and things in my life. When people hurt you, you just want to stay away. You want to do your own thing, and you don't want to do anything with them maybe the same anymore. But sometimes, if you're really feeling up to it, if that's what you want to do, you're going to do it, and you're going to forgive. That's what you're going to do. You're not going to listen to what everybody else has to say, or their opinions, or what they want to do. If you have that feeling, you say, hey, you know what? It's been a long time. I miss those guys. Well, but my thing is, I think Steve is going to test the waters. That new album is about to come out. I think he's going to see what happens with that. And, if things go good, I think if he has a certain feeling and everything's, going okay and he feels comfortable, I think then he'll deal with Journey and see what goes on there. But after the new album comes out, which I think is going to be probably the best thing he's ever done. I mean, really. I think it's going to reach a lot of people, touch a lot of people. People are excited about it. Probably the most anticipated album in the history of albums, I think. And I do believe it's going to be phenomenal. And I know his voice is going to sound great. I know he's been through a lot of personal issues, and he's gotten a lot to say about his life. And there's a message there, I think, for everybody to hear. I know that Neil Sean has been trying to reach out to Steve by posting things on social media, like Instagram. Even yesterday, he was posting about, Steve and their song "Patiently" and the good old days and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. and reminiscing on that. And he used a hashtag on Instagram talking about the journey through time. So is that, some kind of hint? I don't know. I think Neil Sean may be wanting to do some things with Steve outside of Journey, like he said on the Sammy Hager's rock and roll road trip show. You know, he may not want to do anything with Journey. Maybe he feels that Steve don't want to do anything with Journey anymore. So maybe he's going to set up a little, you know, Journey Through Time uh, series. Maybe do a few shows and maybe see where that goes. But who's to say? Never say never. I think as time goes by, Steve will eventually want to get back into that mode with the Journey thing. I know people say, "Oh, he's not ever going to do it." I know. I just have a different feeling. Some say Steve's too old, but you got Mick Jagger's out there still doing it. You got tons of people out there still doing it at the age of 70 and beyond. So, and then Jonathan Cain, of course, he's reaching out to Steve every time you uh, get on Twitter or Instagram. He's talking about Steve and doing interviews about reaching out to Steve and saying the door is open. So I think he's saying, Steve, come on back. I think John really wants Steve back into the mix. And I think he really wants him back with Journey. That's my feeling. These are all my feelings. And Neil Sean will be happy to work with Steve in any way he can. But I'm seeing more and more of that. Neil Sean, Jonathan Cain, they're trying to win back Steve's heart and do something. I've said it's like a tug of war. And I think they're both looking at it from two different points of view. So we shall see. So be looking out for Steve's new album. I think it's getting closer and closer. And be positive. There are a lot of negative people. They don't believe in this. They don't believe in that. I'm a firm believer in Steve Perry and Journey. Hey, this is Gary Stuckey. God bless you, everybody. Don't stop believing.